Joe Phantomaniacs, welcome to the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. Today we are looking at Cobra Shadow Tracker, that redundant Cobra that we get sometimes. I'm very excited about this one because I'm a huge fan of the original Shadow Tracker figure from the modern line. We'll do a little comparison there when we get the opportunity. This is a Walmart exclusive, which is kind of odd because it's not a repaint. It's not a character that necessarily is going to lend itself to repaints. So, I don't know. This may be the only Shadow Tracker we see, kind of like the Mole Rats. Who knows if we'll see Mole Rats anywhere else in the line. Got the box. Looks good. All the stuff on the box that's been on all these boxes. Let's get in here and get this figure opened up. Nice, intimidating face on this one. I have always felt, and I don't have any reason to think I was wrong, that Shadow Tracker's design was meant to be evocative of the Predator. And considering they put out a Spirit Iron Knife that looked like Billy from Predator in right around the same time as the original Shadow Tracker, I think that kind of confirms my thoughts on that one. And when that first Shadow Tracker came out, I was definitely sort of iffy about new stuff in the line. Like, oh, what are we doing here? There's our nice artwork. What are we doing? Are we modernizing things too much? Are we getting a little too crazy with characters? But that original one is a great figure. So I ended up being very happy with it and happy that it was in my collection. Got some pieces that are kind of, oh, interesting. Huh. So no camo on the pants is the first thing that's kind of disappointing, but I will say they went with a little more armored look. And if you'll notice, this Shadow Tracker has, let me get this dusty stand out of the way. My modern Joes are next up in my rounds of cleaning. He's got a really slick, cool camo pattern on his pants. However, I will say, I think the armored, like the thigh armor and the knee pads, looks, because this is all what Zartan stuff going on here, but the way that they've done it, I think, looks different enough to me. Now, granted, he's also got the flames on his boots, which is, I don't know how I feel about that part. But I think that this is a good upgrade. Although I could also see these becoming Trapjaw legs. Any Masters Universe Classic fans will know what I'm talking about with that. Man, so this is just the face. There is no face under that mask. Very interesting. This is a little firmer than maybe I would have made it. The back, lots going on with that original, obviously. But we've largely kept to the colors here. Maybe not quite as bright a neon on the new one. Well, definitely not quite as bright a neon. But lots of additions that I think fill the character out a little better, which is not how I initially felt. But all the bones and stuff worked into the character. Pretty cool. I'm liking this. I would have liked a little paint. Well, it does have paint. They just went with black because this is gray. Right here. Well, we're zooming in. It's that time. So this is actually gray. This is black. So they could have gone with a little more exciting paint here since they were doing paint, and they just didn't. You've got a glove with a really cool, like, reptilian texture to it. Looks cool. These bones over here are great. And the hair is very well done. I like the paint they've done on this. The texture looks great. Using the one to tie the rest up is a very cool look. That mask is absolutely terrifying. I love it. And then the sort of skirt piece here, like I said, it's a little... I mean, it's flexible enough, and it's kind of... If you want to put it to the side, you can, but if you want to keep it this way so it doesn't interfere with the leg movement, you can absolutely do that. He won't be sitting in any vehicles, but that's fine. That's not my intention for him. But we do see here, I don't like this. I mean, this look, everybody's mileage is going to vary on this. This looks terrible to me. The black knee pads are fine, but then making that whole piece just black like this and then leaving the backs, I personally, I think that looks awful. And I don't like it. Fortunately, it's mostly covered by the skirt here, which has... It's a little too subdued. I wish they'd gone with a different color for those leopard spots. Like, just make them yellow. I'd like make this lighter, make those black. I don't know, something here. It just doesn't pop as much as I feel like it should. I do like the rope on the belt and little bits of bone or teeth or whatever going on over here. I think they've done a nice job with the design on this one. It looks good. I do question why we didn't use these for Copperhead. It's kind of weird. But there you go. Look at the little red, I guess, twine over here on the side. Looks good. Oh, and he's got, look at that detail. He's got spacers in his ears. Really nice touch. I want to see this guy's face, his real face. All right, let's take a look at the accessories. Oh, here's some weirdness. I don't know that I've seen this before. So yikes. So they used the same plastic for his torso. You know, normally this piece is the same color as the pants. Now we have this really bizarre situation going on here. Shadow Tracker's looking a little cheeky. Let's just put that away. That's weird. I don't like... Look, that's terrible. I don't like that at all. Oh, man. Yeah, that's just not okay. That was a poor decision. Wow. You know, most of the time, it's not going to show. You're not even going to see it. But, oof, I don't like it. Between that and the knees, there's a cheap feel to part of this, which is a weird thing to say because there's a ton of great detail in this figure. But those decisions I don't agree with. Well, I say I don't agree with. I don't know what cost, like, what were we making a cost decision about there? Because that's why those knees and that lower abdominal piece, money is the reason they look like they look. So I don't know what the alternative would have been and how much worse it would be. I don't know. Oh, see, look at that. You know, a little tiny knife that was hanging, or not a knife, a suppressor, I think. That was hanging out on the side over there that I could have missed very easily. More accessories than it seemed like at first. It looked like it was kind of a light loadout. But now, taking a look, we've got some fun stuff in here. All right, let's check it all out. First, I want to look at these masks. We've got this alternate mask, which looks like... if you've ever read Brian Lumley's Necroscope series, this looks like the cover of one of those books. I think it's Vampire. My favorite vampire books of all time, but this definitely looks like that book cover. And hopefully this will just pop into place and stay there. Yeah, works really well. So if you can tell, this is sculpted to plug into the skull face. So It does very successfully. Very well done. Man, I really like that mask a lot. And then we've got the more traditional Shadow Tracker mask, which is a weird thing to be saying, but that's what it is. The neon yellow. And aside from just looking cool, I don't really know. Oh, now I would like if the eyes were cut out of this one so they showed through like they do on the original figure. Um, that would have been a nice touch because now this is less striking. Yeah, I really wish those eye holes were cut out. Ooh, that one may not stay on as well as the wolf mask. No, it definitely doesn't. Matter of fact, it doesn't seem like it's going to stay on at all. Yeah, this one is not plugging into place like the other mask at all. So this, I might try heating it up and smushing it down a little bit. Like maybe it got flattened out and needs to clip into the side because you can see in here there are little pegs on either side that should go into the cheekbones here. So I'm thinking I might need to heat this up and then squeeze it into place and leave it there. And yeah. So anyway, I'm going to heat this up and pinch it, but I think I'm going to use this mask anyway, as much as I like the other one. But I do wish the eye holes were cut out of those masks. I think they would look a lot better. We've got a quiver with attached arrows. And this is a new design, and they have fortunately sculpted the hair to interact or to go around the quiver. Now it's just going to be a matter of figuring out what angle to push the peg in to get it seated. It's hard to find the right part to push on here. Okay, I think that's as good as it goes. So you've got the quiver. No paint. No paint whatsoever. How much would some yellow on the fletching, like that would look great, wouldn't it? So this clearly is not a suppressor. You've got a compound bow. Again, no paint. Kind of weak. And then, so maybe that's a sight, right? Seems like it could be. Laser sight. And then that, I'm not sure what goes where. Okay. So that will plug in there. Our compound bow will clip in here some sort of way, maybe. This is pretty rigid plastic, so there's not a lot of... Oh, he's got all kinds of... Okay, that's cool. So, he does have an additional loose arrow. Looks great. Probably the same one that came with Storm Shadow, but I'm not positive. And that'll go right in there. And I like how they have sculpted these with these tubes to look the same. So you know how a lot of times when you get the sculpted quiver and then the one arrow that can come out, it looks really weird. This one, they have found a way to make it less apparent that that's the case. So he's got a really wicked looking knife. Looks great. Nice sharp edge on it. That is going to go, I believe, in this sheath here. Just kind of squeeze it in place, I guess. Not a big fan of the exposed blade situation, as I've said before, but what are you going to do? And then you've got a hatchet. No paint, but looks cool. Cool sculpt. And I guess this can go... No, it can't. So what is that loop for? Huh. This is a little confusing here. Let's see. So maybe the hatchet goes here or not. That doesn't seem to make any sense though, does it? And then this, well, no, because there's nothing for this to seat into. So that can't be right. But then this doesn't fit in there. Huh. Do we have another situation where we've reused a part? Because I'm trying to remember if this might have gone with like the Red Ninja or something. I can't recall. I don't think, maybe it did. So maybe they've reused a part and just not supplied the things that it interacts with. Because this isn't going to clip into this in any way that I can see. It slides in like that, but then this little piece keeps it from turning. So, I mean, maybe you could just do like that, which seems kind of lame and uninspired. Or maybe... Oh, wait, maybe this might not be too bad. Ugh, nope. Okay, so you can do that. That works. But then we still don't have an answer for what goes in this loop, and it's not this, and there's no storage for this. So we'll just stick that in his hand for right now. Put his wolf mask on. And that's probably how that guy's going on my shelf. Something like that. So, I don't know. I mean, it looks cool. I like the character a lot. I love the original figure. And some of the choices with this version are great. But some are kind of a letdown. The complete lack of paint on most of the weapons is very disappointing. Makes it feel subpar. But then there's so much paint in other spots, like on this mask and even in his spacers in his ears. Those are painted red. I don't know. I'm not disappointed. There are just some things that weren't quite what I expected them to be or would want them to be. But overall, really cool looking figure, really unique classified figure, and feels to me like a G.I. Joe character. I mean, a Cobra character, but you know what I mean. Part of the G.I. Joe franchise. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about Needless Things. Come back tomorrow. Should be my top 10 of 2023. And that one, I've put a lot of thought into that one because it's tough. It's been a good year for figures. So, subscribe, tell your friends, all the stuff. And until next time, Cobra.
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.